Hi, I'm Christian. I'm the worship pastor for I61 Church in North Wales, and this is just a quick video blog for Chris Saburn's website at chrissaburn.com. Last week, Chris very kindly posted an article by myself about technology and creativity in worship and why we as a church here use loops and the difference it's made to our team. And this is part 2 to that really. Last article was the why, and today I guess it's the how. So I'll give you a little tour of my pedal board, my loop rig, the program Ableton itself, and just explain how we're triggering loops live in a worship service. Okay, so this is my setup. Excuse the mess in here. My office doubles up as a storeroom, and also I'm not a very tidy person. So my microphone is mounted into my pedal board, and if we have a little bit of a better look, you'll see that in there we've got this Pod X3 Live for guitar sounds, and then next to that I've got a volume pedal, which is actually controlling the main volume of the loops. A wireless guitar box, so I can just send my guitar signal wirelessly into here. A audio interface at the back, which if I just show you that one, it's an M Audio 410, fairly standard, nice and compact, so it can go on the pedal board. Great thing about this one, 8 outputs on the back here, so I can usually send that click on 3 and the loops on 1 and 2, left and right, or if I want to I can actually send out any combination, so I could put strings on 4, I could put the drum pads on, the drum samples on 5, guitar parts if we're using them on 6, and send as many different sends to the desk as I wanted to, up to a maximum of 8. That one then runs Firewire to my laptop, which now is on my desk, running a copy of Ableton Live, which I'll show you in more detail in a moment. And the final part of my setup is the Keith McMillan soft step pedal. Great pedal, really nice and small, can throw it in my laptop bag, carry it around with me, and actually all I would really need to run loops is this on my laptop and either an audio interface or out of the headphone socket. That's all you need. The rest of this is just all added gumph. Really small, really customizable, great, really easy to get around, can turn the backlight on and off, so it's really easy to see, and I've added a few labels and customized that a little bit more. So let me plug my device in so you can hear what we're doing. Okay, so I've moved my audio interface over here and plugged it into the speakers just so you can hear what's going on. And this is my Ableton template. If you want to have a better look at this, I've got some blogs posted on my website called my Ableton Live template and my advanced Ableton template, and they'll give you a better idea of what's going on. But just briefly, if I can move the mouse in, there we go. So I've got all of my loops that we run down here, and they're a mixture of single shots or single arrangements where everything's mixed into one MP3, or I've got some where I've actually mixed them into different parts here. So there's beats, pads, piano, bass, lead guitar, guitar 2, choir, vocals, which we can then arrange on different outputs as we choose. We've got cue tracks here, so these are the bits that talk in our ear. And then we've got director cues, so as I trigger off different samples it will shout in our ear first, verse, chorus, bridge, and then I've got a lead here which just turns the metronome on and off for different songs, and then I've got here one that controls the video, so Ableton actually controls our video at the back, so we run lyric videos in time. Again, I've got a whole blog on that one. And the last one controls chord charts, and this one will change the chord chart in a PDF on this laptop, and this one will change the on-song chords on an iPad elsewhere on stage. Okay, so that's basically the setup. Like I said, if you want to have a better look at my Ableton template, go to my blog, and there's some screenshots that show that in much more detail. And then all down here you've got a few different options down here, so we can mute the instruments that we don't need. So if I have a bass player that morning, I can take bass out, take lead guitar out, I can take out guitar 2, I can take out piano if I've got a piano player that day. So I'll leave it all in for now, so it'll sound fairly full, but we customize this on a morning, and then we can send these to different outputs. So we could actually say I want to send the lead guitar here, and I want to send it just on output 4, so that would come out of output 4 on the audio device to run to the desk. As it happens, I'm running all of them into master today, so they all come out of just 1 and 2. Oh, let me close that one, doesn't need to do that. Master. And then the cue tracks here would usually run out of 3, so that's cues for our ear and director cues and the click, but I'm just running them all out of 1 and 2 today. So that gives you an idea of the template, quick overview. And if we come back here, the lovely thing about having this mic stand mounted here is that actually from above the mic stand I can see everything that I want to see just by looking down. So the first thing to show you is the pads. So if I just go into the bank of pads, which are there, I can trigger off a pad in, like I said, A, B, C, D, E, F and G, which to be honest the main keys that we use on a Sunday that I want to be able to call up at any time. I can load in minor keys, I've got them on a separate bank as well. So if I trigger off a pad in the key of B, okay, that's now triggered, but you can't hear it because the volume's down. So if I just lean on the volume pedal here with my foot and rotate it up, you'll see that number increase. There we go, let's turn it up a bit more, and hopefully you can hear that pad coming through here on this camera. Let's just turn up the volume a little bit more. There we go. So that pad will continue until I either change pad. So let's say I went to the change key, trigger off one in A. There we go, or until I hit stop. And I've loaded it with a bit of reverb and delay just so it fades off in the background. I can trigger off those pads using the Ableton template onto any of the songs that we want to as well, which is a great little kind of addition. So we can just fade in a pad at the end of the song or halfway through a song just to add a bit more texture. Okay, let's go into KP1. Let's start with KP2 actually. KP2 is loaded in for the second song of the set, which in this case is going to be Our God is Greater. And so let's trigger off intro. So I hit intro button and you should get a count in. Here we go. And that'll just count its way through on Ableton. You can hear the metronome nice and clearly. We tend to have them doubled up.
Intro, 2, 3.
And there's the vocal cues, bringing everybody in. And that's just all playing here in Ableton. If you listen, she'll count in verse.
Verse, 2, 3, 4.
And we're in. So let me just turn that off a minute. Left to its own devices, that song will just play through a set arrangement that we've got. So it'll be chorus, verse 1, turnaround, verse 2, bridge, chorus, and so on. But I've got the facility to move around in this song as I choose. So if I put the click in, you just hear the click but no sound. If I press this button now, chorus, as soon as I press it, you'll get a chorus in our ears, and then on the next one, it will actually trigger off the chorus. So let me show you that.
Chorus.
On the 1, 1. Or I might want to go and do the bridge in a moment, so we'll press bridge after the 1, and then we get bridge in our ear on the next one, changes to the bridge. Again, don't forget I've got this volume pedal, so I can kill the volume of all the loops altogether and just allow the click or put the volume back in. I could just go to the click and then fade in the pad. Fade out the pad. Or let's go to a verse.
Verse.
And on the 1. So really versatile controller, allows me to move around the song any way that I want and keep triggering off different sections. If we go on to the next one, let's go back one. This is our version of Savour of the World, so we'll do exactly the same thing, trigger it off.
1,
2,
3, 4.
Again, as I said, that arrangement's really full because everything's playing. So let's say we've got bass in that morning and we've got both guitars, so we don't need that. Take that off and we will just leave the pads and the piano and some beats in there for now. Let's trigger that off again.
1, 2, 3,
You hear the difference?
4. 1,
Oh,
2,
there we go, try
3,
again.
4.
And again, at the end of this section, it'll move automatically to
2,
verse.
3, 4.
And again, I can move around anywhere that I want to. So let's say we want to do the bridge. I'll press the bridge. And on the next one, Christ the Lord overcame the darkness, and so on. And let's do the big chorus at the end. We'll press chorus. And here we go. And again, I can still fade in that pad if I want to. So there you go, I can fade in and out the pad. There we go, and that's pretty much the end of the song. And then I would move on to the next bank and be ready to trigger off the next song, which I got is greater. And so on. So hopefully that's been helpful, just a brief overview of how we've got Ableton set up and how we use it in a church setting, the Keith McMillan soft step controller and how we're using that to trigger off different sections of the song and not just being stuck to a rigid arrangement. Also how we can vary the instrumentation so that we can actually arrange our loops depending on who we've got in the band for that day. So hopefully it's been helpful. If you want to see more detail on any of this, please go to my website. On there's videos of how we get those templates set up, and there's some screen captured videos to give you much more detail. Also there's videos on there of how we control Pro Presenter to trigger off videos, how we can trigger off lyrics, how we can change our own chord charts, how we can do metronome automation, how we can speed up the tempo, slow down the tempo. All those kind of tips on using Ableton are on the blog. So please have a look. It's www.iam-kp.com. iam-kp.com, and hopefully there's some stuff on there that'll help resource you and help you step into this world of loops and just kind of increase our creativity and kind of increase some of the ways that we can lead people effectively in worship on a Sunday. Hope it's been helpful for you. Any questions, drop me an email. Take care and God bless. Bye bye.